Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the APAT Show. Sunday night, 9:30-ish, Lee. It's got to be a bit ish. 9:30-ish, and we're
on
here.
The dot. It's a long old intro, but we are definitely here. Yeah, very much the case. Yeah.
So
it's all to winter. Do with this is all a knock-on effect of 6 minutes added on time at Craven Cottage that then led to a VAR decision for a second goal that didn't get given.
Too funny.
It was then about 8. Then it was about 8 minutes, and actually we were still on time for the raffles draw earlier on. If I hadn't have had to do a reset on my laptop because I had it all set up, and then it just went.
Tech.
It went. I'm not having any of that. So yeah, but we are very much here on a Sunday night, guys, and it is game week 6 of the winter leaderboards. We are starting to get towards the crunch end of it for those that have been playing along from the beginning. Not too late to get involved if you want to, though. You are still in with a shout of getting yourselves in the top 10 and picking up some of that £3,000 worth of added value courtesy of grosvenorpoker.com if you want to get involved. But yeah, we'll be following the action from the tables at Grosvenor Poker tonight. We've got a main leaderboard and a mini leaderboard going strong at the moment. 21 left in the main tonight. Des started with 60 runners in that, 76 in the mini, 29 left in that. We'll give some shout outs to some names, as is always the case on a Sunday night. We once we get down to 2 tables, we'll give some shout outs to those that are still in the mix, and we'll have a look at the leaderboards as well to see who's vying for that added value. I mean, somebody is going to get to in a couple of weeks' time is going to pick up a 1150 Grosvenor Open seat and get to go and play in Coventry for the £1 million guaranteed prize pool. I mean, wow, phenomenal! It's
sort of worth it, right? It's worth having a go at this prize.
Yeah. If you're on a Sunday night, you're playing some £30 comp, which you can satellite in for as well, because you can use the Grosvenor steps to qualify for it. So you can get in for anything from a £3 or £1 or £5 or whatever level you want to start buying in. Yeah, not bad for a Sunday night.
Not bad for a Sunday night. And Lee, if you're playing, drop by, say hello, be like Tony. Right, be like Tony. Evening Tony. Mr. Frew is there as well.
We'd love folks. To be like Tony.
Evening, Brian. Yeah, come and tell us what's on your mind, be it poker or indeed anything else. I mean, it's not as if there hasn't been a lot going on in the world over the last 7 days, eh, Lee? It's really great.
A little bit of that happening.
It's really great.
Yeah. Yeah, there has been a lot going on, to say the least. Just looking at who's actually playing tonight. So I can see on the main event, Snake 29, who we've been following the last couple of weeks, is currently chip leader in that. There's a certain Boing Blitz, BCPC 08, who's second in chips at the moment. Good evening to you, Brian. Bjorn Heidestrom is third in chips, which is one Dan Williams.
Indeed.
Tristal Bust is fourth. Now, Tristan was playing up at Dust Till Dawn this weekend. He was playing the UKPC. I don't know whether that means he's headed back home today or whether he's up at Dust Till Dawn still.
He's at the bar.
Chris, what's going on? He's stand at the bar. I can see number 1 Poker Pops is also in the top 10 of the main, which is going to be one David,
Mr. Amos, right?
Yeah, Mr. One David Amos. So hi to you, David. Glyn Wellings is in the top 10 as well. So I say that's just the ones I can see on the screen. Easy in the mini. I can see Carey Bear 2020 is second in chips at the moment. Evening to you, Carey, because I'm sure you'll be in. Although she'll be watching the American football, won't she? No, she won't be watching American football because her beloved Detroit Lions lost last week. They're done. They were favourites for the Super Bowl, and it's all gone wrong in a short space of time.
No,
that postseason stuff with the American sports is nuts, because you can do all of that to be top of the table, and then you can blow it all in the once you've got to really the knockout stages, and then once you got to the wildcards, and you're done for. They were favourites, and they're no longer in. Bob Mouse is also in the top 10 in the mini as well. Oh, number 1 Poker Pops is third in chips in the mini as well. So David's doing a doubling up tonight, and so is Brian Yates. I can see him in the top 10 as well. Bulldozer Dino is in the top 10 of the mini as
Mr.
well.
Pearson.
As is Ready Freddy Go.
I remember that name from recent times. A caller from the north northwest, way up there in the cold lands. You know where I'm talking about, don't you? In the
absolutely.
Wakefield area. I want to say in the Wakefield area, right? That is Mr. Parker.
So, and if anybody is tuning in and going, well, okay, what is this Winter Leaderboard? What are you talking about? What are these people all playing for on a Sunday night? Well, you can head over to the Grosvenor website. Let me bring that up on the screen, and I can show you exactly what you're looking at. You can head over to the promotion section on there, and you'll see the APAT Winter Leaderboard tab, and it's got all the details you want. There's £3,000 worth of added prizes been thrown into these combination of these two leaderboards. There's a £30 buy-in leaderboard and a £5 buy-in leaderboard, main and a mini. There's the prizes for the main. So it's 1,500 buy-in actually. I'm doing it a disservice, Des, saying it was 1,100 or 1,150. It's a 1,500 buy-in UK Open main seat. That's got a £1 million guarantee. That's at Coventry next month. So the winner of this leaderboard is going to get to go and play that event. Then there's also two of the £250 mini seats in there, a couple of 110 online tickets, and then a bunch of £30 tickets in that one. Mini leaderboard. Well, no surprise that you'll get to go and play the mini event at the Coventry as well for £250 buy-in, plus then an 110 and a bunch of 30s and some 5s as well in that. And also within that promotion section, you can just click on the little drop down here and it will show you who's top of the leaderboard. And we all said, you want to be like Tony. Be like Tony, you said, Des. I heard
be
you
like
say
Tony.
It. Well, Tony Ross is currently top of that leaderboard with 200
Never
points.
In doubt.
He's only 5 points ahead of Franny, 15 points ahead of Sharky Lad and Hardcore Womble, which we know is Karen Balby. So and you get 100 points for winning one of these each week. So don't for any second think that you're out with a show. This is week 6 now, so there's still three more weeks to go. 125 points gets you in the top 10 at the moment, and it's currently Gangster Gramps. Gangster Gramps is Adam Neal, so he's currently in the top 10 at the moment. But hey, that can all change quite quickly. So yeah, you can go and check out the Grosvenor website for all of those details. And one other one should give a shout out on that. Let me go back page and I'll bring it up on the screen now. I say there's loads of other promotions going on at the moment, but what the guys are doing with the Irish Open at Easter is just phenomenal. Absolutely smashing these packages going out. All the details you want of what's going on. You can join Team Grosvenor over at the Irish Open this Easter. Main event buy-in plus about €1,000 worth of expenses as well, so help you buy your Guinness for the week, and you'll get properly looked after by the Grosvenor team over there. So all the details for that is on the website in the promotion section. If you fancy giving that a go, they've pretty much got, say, satellites running every day and then a day 2 on the Sunday. I haven't actually looked to see yet, Des, how many that's got tonight, but I think I said to you the past couple of weeks it's been getting some absolutely crazy numbers for the packages. What have they got in late reg on it tonight? It's at least 5 guaranteed, but I think there's going to be more than that. Looking to see now. Have I clicked? Oh, I might have clicked on the wrong one. Let's see if I've not got in running. Hang on. Yeah, it smashed that. It smashed that again tonight. I think they did 16 packages last week, 20 something odd the week before. So yeah,
massively
it's
popular.
Flying.
I'm not surprised.
So,
but they're getting tremendous numbers. Tremendous numbers at Grosvenor Poker, Leigh. I mean, the Irish Open is a great target event, of course, but to be smashing out that number of packages is fantastic news. So really good to see the product doing so well. Leigh, I've got a question. I got a question in the chat box. It's from Gary McBride. Right, Gary. We love Gary. Is it only Sunday games, Leigh? Is it only Sunday games?
Yeah, it's for the winter leaderboards. Yeah, it's just the Sunday games at the moment. We're gonna roll out a bit more of a schedule once we get through this in the middle of Feb. So we just wanted to get this kick started and get some great added value for the players up and running over kind of the December, January, and February. But then we will be looking at some more events, and we'll be getting our championship weekends back.
Yeah,
and we'll have a load of those, and they will be part of a player of the year leaderboard as well. So all of that goodness is to come. Obviously, our first live event is next weekend with the team event, and before we know it, we'll also be in London in about 3 weeks' time, 3 or 4 weeks' time for the UK ICOAP, which will be 5 days down at Aspers. So loads going on, and as I can see, Chris is in the chat. We have got Chris Bean has. I mean, I don't know whether this should be a regular thing that we will be doing or not, but Chris, bless him, he's done another wall for us, Des. So
it's painful, Lee. It's painful for me personally, but I'm happy to take one for the lads.
One of the break, we'll try. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll try and fit it into the break in 10 minutes time.
Okay,
and get it in. We'll get it in early this week. Yeah, we'll get it in early this week. So he sent me another wall. I did actually return the favor during the week for him, and he sent a bunch of expletives back at me, Des. I think I might have made it a bit too tough for him. He wasn't best pleased. So we will get that up and running in the first break. So in about 12 minutes time, we will do another Only Connect style wall for anybody that fancies it.
Thank you, Chris. And maybe next week, if you're going to do this again next week, send the answers. Send the answers as well. Right? We'd fit it into a really short spot then. It would be really good. We'll look really smart. I like it. Dan says, good evening all. Evening to you, Dan. And Gary follows up with, I will get on board. Thanks. Thank you, Gary. Hope you're keeping well, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. Well worth getting involved in. So it's great to have the APAT community back playing online on a regular basis. And as I say, as we build up with what we're doing, we've got loads planned for the year. So it's going to be really, really good. We're just waiting. Tom's just trying to tie up a couple of other venues for the live schedule. Once we've got that done, then we'll release the online schedule to kind of fill in the gaps throughout the year. So there'll be loads happening. But yeah, we're down to 14 in the main tonight, Des. We are already creeping towards that final table. We got down to 2 tables pretty quick, so I did say that we'd give a shout out when we got down to 2. Just got to, if I can get there quick enough. Can I get there quick enough? Yeah, I think I just can. If you're just caught, hopefully Tristan just getting a double up. Not sure whether you got that one through or not in time.
Don't think so. Don't think we saw that.
Or is that frozen? That looks like that might have frozen.
Actually, that could explain why we haven't got it. You're right. Nothing is moving there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just do a quick reset on that and see if I can get that all moving again. So bear with me.
Looks like the Port of Dover in August, Lee. Absolutely nothing is moving there.
That's not what you want.
Simon says, odd there's no screen chat. What do you mean by that, Simon? Screen chat? Is that working table chat? Is he talking about screen chat? That is an interesting one. And good evening to the Oracle.
Not sure what he's talking about there.
As Barcelona's scorer 7th, Lee, they've scored 7 against Gary, what's his name's Valencia. Going to be the next manager of United, I hear. Is it early to talk about Gary Neville? It's really quite early.
Right, I'm going to start pulling out wires and plugging them back in again.
Oh, dear God. Dear God.
So anything might happen. We will see.
We'll go back to this for a second. Right, no, you're still on screen. Are you still on screen?
Oh, that bit should be okay.
We'll put you there.
It's whether I can get the poker tables back up and running.
I'm not sure I'm any clearer here, Lee. Simon says you have to chat through speech bubble. Looks like setup as message. Huh?
What, on Facebook is he talking about?
I have no idea. That's really completely at a loss. On Facebook, well, it would have to be on Facebook, I guess. I don't think we've changed anything at our end, Simon, at least not deliberately. So I'm not sure whether it's a Facebook thing or... Well, I guess it would have to be a Facebook thing. But, wow. Is everybody else seeing a rather strange chat experience tonight? Are you having to input your chat in a different way? Let us know. It's okay now. So you're pulling the plugs there. Helped us, Leigh. I've no doubt.
I'm not sure whether it did. Okay.
Generally looks to be okay. It's okay out there now, Leigh.
What, the chat? That's good.
The chat bubble issue.
Excellent. That's nice to know. Let's see if we can get this the poker feedback. We'll give it one more whirl, and if not, there we go. That looks like a better option. How about that?
Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Does that look a bit more like it?
So this is the main with 13 remaining, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet.
So let's just check whether I've got both tables up and running, and we're getting the feed. Yeah, we are now. Cool, lovely. There we go. See, unplug and plug it back in, and then we'll be good to go. Right then. So we are down to 13. So we said we normally give some name checking when we're down to 2 tables, so we are a bit below those 2 tables now. Well, I haven't even mentioned money tonight yet, Des. We're paying top 10 in the main tonight. So min cash is going to be pretty much double your money, about £60, and up top there is £516 tonight. So decent bit of cash for that. In the mini tonight, we're paying top 12. We're down to 19 at the moment. Say double your money for a min cash, and just over £100 up top for the winner of that. So say loads to play for tonight. So, but yeah, we're on the main. We are down to 13, and Snake 29 is our chip leader with just over 51,000 at the moment. Bjorn, Hydrostrom, Dan Williams is second in chips. Boing Blitz third. Tristal Bust is in fourth. Copium is fifth. Number 1 Poker Pops is in sixth. Vialio is seventh. Flush Busted 2 is in eighth. Credo 75 is ninth. McLennox is 10th. Gangster Gramps, Adam is there in 11th. Ryder is in 12th. And Tony Ross sat there quietly, short stack in 13th place, but he's going to be picking up some more points. Is our leaderboard, top of the leaderboard.
He knows how it's done.
Yeah, so Renot is super short. He's got 8. Oh, it's say he's short stack, but he's actually got 9 bigs. So that's the short stack at the moment on 9 big. So actually, it's played. I think it's played through quite quickly tonight, by the sounds of it. Because normally by now, when you're getting close to the money, they're on even less than that, aren't they?
We frozen again, Leigh?
I hope not, because if it's going to start playing up,
how weird. Well, you're having a ponder about that. Simon says. He thinks his phone went crazy after United won away. That's what he's blaming the speech bubbles on. But I have to say, I'm surprised it still was functioning after yesterday. I mean, it had to have had a proper circuit meltdown yesterday, what with Forest's capitulation in the Premier League. Down on the South Coast, 5-0, Leigh. I mean, I'd like to say I didn't see that coming, but I think last week I might have said as much.
You did pretty much balk them last week, and said they were due a bit of an issue. Yeah, I
think the expression I said, or the statement, was something along the lines of they look like a third-tier team having an insane cup run. Because you got to give them credit, but the style of football, albeit going forward, very smart, but defensively, just have it. That we're just smashing it all over the place. No, they'll be back, I'm sure.
It was one of those. So it should be back. For some reason, it keeps the capture card keeps freezing. So if it does it a few more times, I will just switch everything across over onto a different laptop. So I'll do a quick 5-minute change around if I need to, if we can't keep this steady. But Flush Busted's all in with the 5s against Brian's 10s, 10 on the flop. Means I think that is going to see Flush Busted 2 exit in 13th place. So we're now just 2 off the money. Is Tony Ross going to sneak into the money again? quite possibly. Over on table 2, McLennox has shoved after a min raise from somebody on the right. This thing where it puts, when they're on the time bank, it covers their name up.
I know,
so
it's
annoying,
right?
until you know when until you kind of start remembering who sat where. All I know is they got 27 bigs, so they've called it. So McLennox with the King Jack. It's the 8s for Dave Amos. Needs to avoid. Well, actually, doesn't need to avoid anything. I was just trying to think what the outs were. There weren't any there. So so Dave Amos's 8s bust McLennox in 12th place, and we are now hand for hand because we are 1 off the money. That's going to put David quite high up. In fact, that might even put him chip leader. Oh, he's certainly going to be in the top 3, I would have thought now, 3 or 4. He's sat there with 34 bigs now, so loads. So yeah, we're on hand for hand now. We're just 2 minutes off the break, and we'll do the wall. We'll do the latest wall. For anyone that's not has not watched the show for the last couple of weeks, Chris Bean, the wonderful Chris Bean, has been sending us. If you watch Only Connect on a Monday night on BBC Two with Victoria Coram Mitchell, one of the rounds they do, the third round, is the wall. Base you have 16 clues come up on the screen, and it's 4 groups of 4, and you have to basically get them into the groups, and then you have to be able to explain what the connection is between each of those things in the group. As Dave Amos is all in with the King, Tony Ross all in with the 9s against the King Jack of Dave Amos. Jack on the river means Tony is probably going to be our bubble player in 11th place, I think, because I think we are down to 10 now. So hand for hand will be over, which means we're now 2 off the final table as we're heading towards the break. So Tony's going to finish in 11th place, adding some more points. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do in about a minute or so's time once we get to the break. So feel free, if you're in the chat, to want to. We know you're on a 30-second delay to us, so. As another all-in, Gangster Gramps is out against the Ace-8 of Snake 29. So we lose Adam in 10th. We're 1 off the final table now. This is absolutely flying
moving
through
quickly,
tonight.
Lee.
Ryder is all in and gets that one through. It's difficult to keep up with this, and players are going to be on a break in a second, so we will
here we go,
let them get a break, and we will get. So yeah, we would very much appreciate your help if you want to hang around during the break and get in the chat as quick as you can. Des will try and shout anything anybody says, and I'll try and click the right buttons.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens.
Let's do it. I'll keep an eye on the chat. I can do that. Oh, blimey!
Just checking. Has that gone? Oh, they're just playing this one hand out, I think. Yeah. Brian's just calling the small blind, so the break won't start until Brian and Dan repops from the big blind. This is proper poker going on here. They're not messing about. These 2 gladiators of the APAT poker world, Dan Williams and Brian Yates. Great Britain versus Norway going at it. Dan with the 1.62 big blind flop bet, Des.
Takes it down.
You'll be familiar with that type of thing, yeah. Oh, you got to love it.
Brian wasn't going to get suckered into that. He knew he was behind there. I think he was probably right as well. Rightly, just before we start the thing, Mr. 40 says, Leigh and Des, a car looking from last weekend turned into car buying on Friday. Exciting. What did you go for in the end, Steve?
Yeah,
let's go for a hybrid. Wasn't he a hybrid of some sort?
He'll have definitely hybrided up, I would have thought. Lovely, right then. So players are on. I've got about just over 4 minutes left on the break. We'll flick over to the quiz then. So as we said, it's a wall style only connect grid, 4 categories with 4 items in them. We've got to get them connected up. We get 3 minutes to do this. You're 30 seconds behind us normally on this feed by the time we can see what you've chatted about. So let's give it a go then.
Let's go, Leigh. We can do this.
We can do this. Let's see how big I can make this. I can go like that.
Oh
like
God,
that,
I see.
like that,
I see Fanny and Willie, Leigh. I'm not sure we can put this one out.
This is not looking right. Wellard is a dog from
EastEnders, right?
EastEnders. So Schmeichel's a dog from Coronation Street.
No way.
But I don't know. There's two other dogs. Oh,
Willie
was a dog. Willie was a dog from EastEnders as well.
Really?
So Wellard, Schmeichel, Willie. I've no idea.
Well, it's got to be another classic. Brunt, maybe. Gristle, posterior, bust. No.
We're going to struggle with this, aren't we?
Posterior, behind, and
hang on. Rouge.
Fanny.
Barouge has got rouge. Barouge has got rouge in it. Chilevert has got vert, which is green, is French for green. Any more French?
No, but I do have one for you. I'll give you one. But posterior, behind, and Fanny. They're all words
posterior.
Behind and Fanny.
And what we're doing behind.
Yeah, I think.
No, there's another one. There's another one in there.
Is there?
Oh, come on! We're gonna struggle with this. Goalkeeper. Are we doing goalkeepers? Somebody's mentioning goalkeepers. Is there more than one? Is David a goalkeeper?
Trish is saying goalkeepers.
Higuita's a goalkeeper. Schmeichel's a goalkeeper. There's no other goal.
Campos, maybe.
Oh, Campos is a goalkeeper. So what's the other one then?
Senny? David. It's David Seaman. Just pick a random fourth.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
It's got to be that one.
Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. There's another
Chilevert, maybe?
Keister a goalkeeper? Chilevert, maybe a goalkeeper. This is ridiculous. We're going to struggle with this.
It's bad.
Fine, or be high. Is there not one more of them?
Yeah, Chilevert, they're all saying, but they're wrong.
Chilevert's a goalkeeper, so Schmeichel maybe he's not the goalkeeper. So okay, well, let's keep Schmeichel as the dog. So I need another goalkeeper in here.
Man U players, Schmeichel and Wellard are soap opera dogs. We've got that. Man U players, I don't know. Man U players. Willie too. Willie is Willie a goalie? Try Willie.
Willie is a goalie. Willie's not a goalie. Oh, come on. This is like... did we try Keister? Maybe it's Keister. No, I'm running out of time here fast. Is Senia... Maybe Senny's a goalkeeper?
Oh, okay. So Dan is saying Campo, Chilevert, Higuita, and Schmeichel. But I thought we had that.
Chilevert. No, we tried that, and that wasn't. No, that isn't.
That's not it.
I think Schmeichel. We're running out of time. We're gonna fail this.
Keister, but Fanny and Willie. Is it gone? Oh no, that was bad.
Okay, well let's see if we can if we got some of the connections here. Let's put this right. Okay, so Senny, Butt, Campos, and Higuita. I think that's the goalkeepers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's the goalkeepers. Yes. Okay. So we knew there were goalkeepers in there.
We didn't get Butt.
But we couldn't get that. Okay. What we got then? Gristle, Brunt, Berouged, and Chilevert. I can't even see what a link would be there. I think it's colours. I think it's French colours. I'm going to say
Gristle,
or maybe it's just foreign colours.
Wow.
Hidden French. Yeah, I could just. So what's the other two?
Okay.
Brun.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah. I'm not even sure. What's the one in Gristle? I'm not even sure what that is. Riss.
Gris Grey.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Okay, Grey. Yeah. Wouldn't. Okay. Wellard. Right. That is. Are we saying soap?
Yeah. Soap dogs.
Soap opera dogs. Yeah. So I think we had the clues here. Just couldn't find the connections. Yeah. Okay. And then the last one then. Keister behind, and we're saying
these
synonyms. Oh crikey, I can't even spell synonyms properly. For
rear ends.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we had the connections. Just
here we go. David is a dog in Corrie, says Mr. Brooke. Mr. Amos says, try Schmeichel, Willard, Welly, and Fanny. Oh, my God. Willie's David Schmeichel, Kester, but I mean, they're all great, aren't they? They're all great from a distance, Lee, and being 30 seconds behind. Trish says, horrible setup with two other goalkeepers in there.
Yeah. We've been done. Chris Bean, thank you very much, my friend. Another cracking wall. I mean, please don't feel you need to do one of these every single week, but they're great fun. But they are great fun to do. They really.
Thank you, chat.
He'll do one, and it'll be all Liverpool. It'll be 16 Liverpool players, Des.
I'm not sure we'd still get it, Leigh.
You'll have to try to work out what the combinations are. They're the worst ones when they're all the same things. Yeah, just trying to work out what they are. But brilliant, great stuff for that. Thank you for that. And say well done, chat. I think you were along the right lines with most of those. That was for sure.
Very good.
And you can play those on Puzzgrid. I think it's .com. If you want to get involved in those, I actually say I returned I did promise Chris I would last week, and sent him one during the week to have a go at, and it was a little bit. It had a bit of a poker vibe to it. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pop it up on the APAT group once we finish the show tonight.
Excellent.
If anybody wants to have a go on that,
excellent.
They can do.
Leigh, one of the answers to one of the earlier asked questions, Mr. 40's car, Hyundai Kona Hybrid, it sounds like a Manchester United back three for 2026. That's what I think. It sounds like a good car, that. Good luck with it, Steve.
Absolutely. So just seeing Credo get a double up there through Snake 29 with the Pocket 8s. So...
Wow.
So very much, we're one off the final table here.
So we're at 9.
And the mini is down to 14, and that's paying 12. So they're pretty much on the bubble. So
very good, very good. So quite, you looking forward to next weekend, Leigh? Live poker,
can't wait.
Nottingham, meeting up with the gang. Going to be great.
Cannot wait. If anybody is, I popped down an email today. We've had a couple of individual dropouts for one of the teams. I think it's one of the APAT teams that we'd put one in last minute that Tom had got organised. So if you know anybody that wanted to get into a team and wants to play next weekend, drop Tom Brady a message and he'll let you know whether there's still an available slot. But I think he had. Earlier on today, he had 2 available. I did pop it out on the mailer to the database, so it may well be they've got filled by now. I haven't spoken to Tom since then. So, looking forward to it. It's going to be absolutely rammed at Dussel Dawn. So they've been packed all week this week with the UKPC, and we'll be in town next week. And from that Friday bounty game right through to the side events on the Sunday and the main event for the team, it will be heaving at Dussel Dawn. Looking forward to catching up with everybody for the first time in 2025. Can't wait for it.
It's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. Simon says Hyundai, and he's quite right. So they do pronounce Hyundai as Hyundai. I shouldn't say it like that, but of course we call it Hyundai over here. They're trying really hard to re-educate people to pronounce it as Hyundai. Which they've always done in the States. They call it a Hyundai in the States.
It's like IKEA, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like Peugeot. In Ireland, it's Peugeot. Over here, it's Peugeot. Sounds much posher over here. Peugeot. But I heard somebody else from some other country call it a Peugeot recently and did a little, yes, we know.
Yeah.
Oh, Kerry's here and she goes, Hyundai.
There you go.
I don't know. Hyundai. I think they're doing a wonderful job of clarifying exactly what to call it. They should just rename it.
That'll be the Deu. Yeah.
Well, listen, this is our question for the chat, right? If you were in charge of branding at Hyundai and you had to rebrand that car as something different, right? What would you call it? And you can't say Croc. Carrie says, Hyundai.
I just thought of a question I was going to ask the chat tonight.
Actually, Hyundai.
That I was thinking about the other day. So here's one for the chat, because this will be good. Completely flipping to a different subject altogether. But apart from Star Wars, because that tends to polarize people, can anybody name me a bad Ewan McGregor film?
Oof, tricky. I mean, I
can
even like the documentary stuff. I even like the documentary stuff he does.
Yeah, can you name me a bad Ewan McGregor? There's Riders All In with King 8 versus Copium's Ace 8. And I think we're going to have a final table. Yeah, we are going to have a final table. Bear with me whilst I
does that say break,
down
Leigh?
the one, because they've all jumped to the other table. So let me quickly bring that up. There we go.
So Kerry agrees with you. No, he's great. And he is. Ewan McGregor, very, very good.
Really, I can't even think of one where you go, oh, he did that. And it just wasn't very good.
Stinker. No.
It just, not that he's not very good, but actually just the film wasn't very good. I've really struggled to think of. He's either been very, very fortunate with the stuff he's got, or very good at actually, picking what he wants to choose. And maybe there's a lot of bad ones that he's just, does said no to. So,
and maybe it's me, but I haven't seen him in anything for an age. Is he still out there making movies?
Yeah. He's been in stuff recently, but When you say the documentary stuff, do you mean the
Yes.
Do you mean
getting on the bikes?
The bikes. Yeah,
fantastic. Absolutely love it. Simon says Trainspotting 2. Don't know. Couldn't say. I'm not sure I've seen Trainspotting 2.
Yeah, I suppose it wasn't. I mean, obviously, Trainspotting is an iconic.
And his second is always a bit difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I'm not even sure why they. I'm not even quite sure why they did it. To be honest, I think they obviously got made a lot of money to justify doing it. But yeah. Actually, maybe Simon, maybe you're right. Trainspotting 2 wasn't exactly the same thing. In the world.
Trainspotting was great. What about Trainspotting 2?
Yeah, no, that is a fair shout. Yeah, actually thinking about it, wasn't good. Good soundtrack for it though. It's not as good as the first soundtrack for the first one. And that was. But I mean, that was around my time of when I was at uni. So Trainspotting, I have a lot of love for Trainspotting, the soundtrack, and just everything around.
Just perfectly described a typical day in the life of Leigh at university. Trainspotting, right?
Yeah.
Gary says, in a very lightly positioned post, he says, any news on the 2025 schedule? Hold on, Gary. Those questions were being asked back in October. You can't ask those now.
Yeah, so we've already got obviously the first 3 events of the year out there, which is the team event happening next weekend. Then we're in London at Aspers from the 12th to the 16th of February, and then we're over in Ireland at the Green Isle Hotel in the middle of March for our Irish Championship, alongside the St Patrick's Day Festival that's happening over there. So they're the first 3. We're just finalising a couple of other venues, and then we'll be releasing the rest of the schedule for the year. Is the plan? Yeah. So we've got a packed schedule with probably about 3 or 4 bigger festival styles, and then a few of the kind of the more regional things. We will be in Malta twice again this year. That's for sure. We'll be over in Ash again for the German Championship over there. The guys do a great job over with that one. So loads going on.
In his best Barry Norman accent, Leigh, Simon reviews Trainspotting 2 as follows: brutal, absolutely brutal.
Yeah. Okay, that's. I think that's a fair shout. That is,
and there is a question. There is a question from the audience, Leigh. Has the poker table frozen, or
again?
Are we stuck on 2 minutes and 37 seconds for about 6 minutes now?
Seriously.
Just, we've got a very big engine here. There's a lot going on. Right, Leigh? I do like your plush carpet sort of type of background there. Here we go.
All right, let's see whether we got a reset on that. There we go.
Okay, yeah, looking good. Down to 8. So we are at a final.
Apologies for the it's for whatever reason the capture card is just freezing every once in a while at the moment. So if it does freeze, we'll try and keep an eye on it when we're chatting about other nonsense and bring it back. But Vialio is all in and has been called by Boeing Blitz and also Bjorn Heiderstrom. So three on this hand, and Brian and Dan are both playing a side pot if they actually put any chips in the middle, but they're checking it all the way down here at the moment. 7-7-3-3 deuce is the board, and it's gonna. Brian finally puts out 4 big blind bet. Brian's playing about 26. Dan is playing 50s, and I didn't see what Vialio had, but Vialio has bust in 8th, so we are down to 7. Vialio picks up £60 their trouble and say a little bit of a payment jump.
Very nice.
We go. The mini is down to 13, so 1 off the money in that.
Mr. Amos, Lee, Mr. Pops, asks Blackpool and squads results going on Hendon Mob anytime. I would certainly expect so. We'll just mention that to Tom. He normally does the comms with. So,
I think somebody asked in the group, and I think Tom for some reason was still waiting on some resolution with a couple of the side events, and so it hadn't got sent across. I think I'll mention it to him at the weekend just to say, we can go without that side event if we need to, and get the main ones on there, because obviously they are a few months are gone now, so they should be on there by now. But Tom is aware that they've not got them yet.
So the mini's on the money bubble, says Kerry, and a couple of snowmen fighting over there at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, Kerry is second in chips over there.
Very good.
And Dan Williams is also in the mix there, as is Bob Mouse, as is Dave Amos, Bulldozer Dino as well. So. And who else? Jam Sandwich is chip leader. Little Ashglyn Wellings is there as well. Tax return is 13th at the moment. Perfect time of year for anyone. Deadline of Friday, folks. So we didn't find out whether Tris is actually headed home or is still up in Nottingham. I know that the UKPC final table isn't until tomorrow, so they run that over into. I'm not sure about that, Des. I can't quite make my mind up on that.
Say that again, Lee.
Well, that's a good thing. So they run the final table into a Monday. But it's not a bank holiday Monday or anything. It's just a Monday. So I suppose if you've made that final table, I think there's 100,000 for the winner in that event. So I suppose if you've made that final table, you have a conversation with if you're working or you're doing whatever. But it does seem a little bit of a strange one to
I suppose
to do that.
Yeah, I suppose there's two sides to it, Lee. One, if you've entered and you have ambitions to make the final table, at least it won't be a surprise that it's on Monday. I'm sure it was published as Monday, advertised as a Monday final. And number two, of course, I know at DTD, they like to start some of these bigger final tables earlier in the day, so it's not late. You end up finishing a big event at 3 a.m. in the morning.
No.
But it's a good point. It's a good point. I mean, some people may have to make a phone call.
Yeah, I know Grosvenor run all of their GUKPTs and everything, 2550s and all of those run to a Sunday night. So actually, they had 5 2550s run over the weekend. I did post up in the group earlier on today because 3 of them were overlaying. Today up in was it Stockton, Blackpool, and Sheffield? I think it was. Okay. Hopefully they got there in the end and people saw the value and headed along and played the turbo flight today and got it close to the money, but a little bit of value, it would appear. Difficult. It's interesting where we mentioned on the poker raffles draw. There's players coming back into the market and running live tours. The UK live tours is absolutely crammed now. There's choices of events on pretty much every weekend of the year. Which is great for players because it gives you loads to decide what you want to play and some amazing stuff to get involved in. But it does seem, absolutely. 2025 is you thought it might slow down a little bit, but it's absolutely rammed. Yeah,
I mean that's our poker raffle schedule for January so far. What with winners and events that are sort of currently on, and as you can see, I mean it's just chocker, and these are all selling out. So the interest, the demand in the market seems significant, and the content, the events, the tournaments are there with great guarantees, etc. It's a very positive time in the UK market right now.
We should just give a shout out. We were buzzing last week when we as we kind of came on the APAT show because we just announced that we were doing a Vegas package on poker raffles. That's already sold over 20% of the tickets in the first week.
Yeah, flying.
So we put it at £1 because we wanted to make sure everybody had a chance to get involved. So obviously there's a lot of tickets there to get through. But we thought, well, we'll put it on there for we'll do the draw in early April. That still gives people time to make plans then for late June, July for going to Vegas if whoever the winner is. Thinking, well, I know that'll take 20% gone in the first week alone. It's just if you do want to get involved in that, then don't leave it too late because I've a feeling we won't be getting to the to the draw day with tickets still being available.
It's the value in it, Leigh. I mean, I saw a lot of people post about it on their own walls and stuff over the week, and just the thought of going to Vegas, getting into your bucket list sort of event, your 10,000 main event buy-in. I mean, who knows who you might sit with in that. Hotels, flights for you and the mate with tickets at £1. It's you can't not be in it. It's that sort of thing. You're going to kick yourself if you're not in it, albeit your chance of winning is extremely slim. It's still better than the lottery, Leigh, but it's still slim, right?
It's miles better than the lottery.
Better than the lottery.
Yeah, but the great thing it's on the. So if you've ever watched any of the promo vids that we do for poker raffles, if you've watched any of the draws, you've seen them. So you've seen some of the winners we've had that we've interviewed or whatever. And I think it might be Dawn that says it, Dawn Cook, that says it in there. She said, it's great to win, but also it's really great if it's somebody that wins because you feel like that as well. So and I would hope that it would be fantastic if it was somebody in the APAT community that people have known for a long time wins the package. Obviously we have no say on who it's going to be. Everyone buys their tickets and takes their chance. But the fact that actually there's so many people that you're going to know, and you can scroll down to see who's bought tickets and stuff. You'll see the names of people, and it could be somebody is going to head off to Vegas this summer. And as we were talking about last week, they might also choose to, sell a little bit of their action to,
I'd sell about 80%, Leigh. If it was me, I'd sell about 80%. Anyhow,
so
Vegas.
I see Kerry in the chat saying the weather is a bit poo though up north. I'll tell you what, it's not great down south. It's blowing an absolute hoolie out there again this evening. It's been doing that all day. It calmed down about 4 o'clock for about 2 or 3 hours. We managed to get the dogs out for a walk this afternoon before it got dark. But it is absolutely chucking it down again here down on the south coast.
Let me tell you, Leigh.
What the weather's like with all of you guys, but I hope. Bearing in mind also, there's been some pretty nasty stuff coming in across Ireland and Scotland. So I hope everybody is safe and has taken the advice and stayed indoors.
Let me tell you guys, the weather is not too poo unless you hear the crackle of trees burning right next to your house, as some of our, westernly neighbours have been experiencing over recent weeks. I mean, that is pretty horrendous. What's happened in LA, Leigh. Absolutely horrendous. I mean, some of the video coming out of that, homes just burnt, destroyed in their entirety, and just incredible stuff. Wow.
No, it's quite mad. The weather does have a freakish nature about it.
Doesn't it just? Kerry is saying in Essex, I think we've gotten lucky. It hasn't done much for the last 2 storms. Yeah, better being inland if you are indeed inland.
Tristan's all in with the aces against ace 10 of Brian, and it's going to be a double up for Tris.
His hand. On the final table question in Nottingham, Leigh, Steve says just phone in sick. I guess you could do that, but to be honest, I think if you've made a big old final table, you could say, really sorry, guys. Something rather unusual has occurred.
So I don't know whether you saw this story. I've just I picked it up on X, and it was in the back of my head, and I've just gone to quickly fact check it before I told you this if it wasn't the fact that actually it was just some nonsense thing on X, because
so
I don't know whether you
lasers.
noticed, but there is the odd bit of this sort of nonsense stuff that does appear on X's, but it's been reported in the Independent, Des. So therefore,
fairly solid.
I think we're going to be good here. I'm pretty sure we're going to be all right on this one. So a couple of days ago, a flight, British Airways flight coming back from Vegas to Heathrow. Yeah. Wednesday it was, and because of the storm that was coming into the UK, it got up to a ground speed of 814 miles per hour, which is just 21 miles per hour slower than the subsonic speed record of 835. Wow. Boeing 747 in tailwind, it reduced the flight time from Vegas to Heathrow by 45 minutes.
Nice. Crikey.
Because basically, it was an unusually strong jet stream, bringing in the storm Ewan. Ewan was it called? I think it was. Yeah, to the UK. Yeah, and basically they gathered the data and it tracked at 814 miles per hour ground speed.
Because you're normally traveling in one of those things at about the 550 to 600, 550. I think it's normally about that. Yeah. That's insane. I mean, you wouldn't have thought that the wings would have been shaking a little bit. I mean, it can't be designed to be traveling at that speed.
You kind of wonder, well, what was the ride like? Was it, interestingly, on the thing on X, so it kind of listed that, and then the last thing it said was, everyone survived. Which I thought, detail.
Which I
thought was a great way of brilliant. Wow. And to that, but ridiculous. So if you were flying back from Vegas on Wednesday with British Airways, you very much got home early.
Wow.
Kristen is all in on the Queen 7 Queen 4 board. And decision for Brian is going into his time bank. And the bubbles burst in the mini.
They're in the money. Well done. Well done, guys.
And unfortunately, Little Ash. Not Little Ash. No, Johnny, actually. Johnny was the... there's this thing on this this lobby. It seems to keep a stack in. So it looks like there's an extra player, but there actually is for some reason. Don't know why it does that, but it's done it every week. It's kept somebody in for some reason on the lobby list. But... So congratulations to all of you in the mini. You are now in the money, and we are down to 7 in this main leaderboard.
Kerry asks, who is Bob Mouse? That would be Bob Bullman, down on the south coast, I think. Bob. Or maybe the southwest, but I'm pretty sure that's Bob.
But the UKPC, they are going to pick up a nice bit of money if you made that final table. So the phone stick option is not.
How much is ninth Leigh or final? Last place in the final. Does it? It doesn't.
Not sure. It will do. It will do somewhere. I'd say I know the winners. The winner is it's over 100K for the winner. So let's see. Ninth is picking up 9,500.
Wow. Yeah, I think
so. Yeah. So ninth is 9,500, then it goes 12, 15, 20, 26, 35. So third place is getting 47,000, second is getting 67,000, and the winner gets just over 100,000.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, I think you'd. Well, I'd hope you'd have an understanding boss that would appreciate the situation, but that isn't always the case.
No.
Sometimes
right.
people are in jobs where it's just not a possible thing to do that. So sometimes it is just a case of just pull a sickie is the easiest way to do it. But
Steve says, I've been watching the older World Series of Poker main events. I enjoyed 2017 with John Hesp, a guy who played a £10 home game, cashed for fourth, $2.6 million. Why couldn't an APAT Poker Raffles player do the same? Absolutely right. I mean, John has played APAT, he's played LPPL, he's played all of the, recreational tiered poker in the UK, and was able to get that magnificent win. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, it can be done. No reason why it can't, and they'll have done it from a £1 ticket. Doesn't matter how many tickets you choose to buy. In the end, it's still just that £1 ticket is the one that's going to win. So that's the way you got to look at it.
Yowzers.
Fantastic opportunity for somebody, and I would say can't wait to get to do the draw. It's going to be incredible. It is going to be one of those where we are going to be. When we get our winner, we're going to be straight on the phone to them, seeing if we can get hold of them. It's going to be one of those type of draw nights. Can't wait for it. It's going to be great.
I think, Lee, it will be I have absolutely no doubt, it will be our biggest live stream ever. I think there'll be a lot of people on the live stream that night. We'll have a bit of fun with it. I've got some thoughts. We're going to do some fun stuff in the lead up anyway. We've got several weeks to do some stuff. But just to build on the excitement of going to Vegas, right? And for many people, it could possibly be for the first time. So there's lots of good stuff, lots of fun we're going to have with this one before we draw it.
I think the table's frozen again. Let me see if I can get that back.
Okay.
It is just for some reason it's a plug and unplug. I don't know why it's being a nuisance tonight, but.
Yeah, Simon says frozen. We're just addressing that, Simon, at the moment. There we go. We are back.
It should be back.
Oh, we've never had that before, Lee. So really odd tonight.
No, it's glitching through the capture card for some reason.
Maybe if firmware or something needs an update.
Yeah, we'll just OBS did have an update before we went live, so it could be. We just need to
buggy.
Switch everything off and back on, and give it a reset, and we'll see what happens. So we've flown down from, once they hit the money in the mini, we've gone down to 8 already. So we're down to a final table in the mini. Let me see if I can get that.
Kerry just says she outdrew David Amos to take him out, Mr. Poker Pops.
So whilst they're.
Dan says, whoop, double max late reg to double final table. Well done, Dan. Nice result.
Oh, there we go. Whilst that one's playing out there, let me just quickly flick across and hopefully. That's really weird. That's frozen on it. Okay, let me try and fix that.
While you're fixing that, Lee, I've got a question for you. What would your favourite tool be? A shovel or a pickaxe?
That's the most random thing I've.
Really? Steve wants to know: are you still Bitcoin mining?
Yeah.
Pickaxe, you get more out more quickly. Yeah, maybe that's it. Your Bitcoin mining is using all of your resources there. Is that even still a thing, Steve? Are people still out there doing that?
Oh, if Trump tells them to do it, they are. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I would just try and sneak into Newport Refuse Centre every evening and do a little search around with my search equipment, looking for that guy's hard drive. So it's worth about 400 million,
if not more. The way Bitcoin's
more.
gone now, yeah. The way Bitcoin's is gone now, is it up to over 100,000 or something?
No, it's, and the scary thing is, it might still be a good time to buy.
Yeah, that's the that is the frightening situation. Credo is betting pot bet here on the river, 9, 10, 7, King, Jack. Rookie spot, because it's pretty much half of the stack of Tristan.
Has it gone again, Leigh?
Nope. Because that's what I'm seeing on Grosvenor. So.
Oh, but there's no flashing. There's nothing.
No, what you're seeing is exactly what I'm seeing on Grosvenor at the moment.
Oh, so right. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's a movement. There's a movement. There we go.
So that wasn't. Yeah, that was definitely not.
We get paranoid now. You see, that's what happens.
Not me that time. Let's see whether I've got the. There we go. There's the final table of the mini. Now.
Well done. All.
Now loaded up. So congratulations to all of you guys. And Jam Sandwich is chip leader. Been chip leader for most of it actually. Kerryberry 2020 second, Bob Mouse in third, Glyn Wellings fourth, Bjorn Hydrostrom is in fifth, Bulldozer Dino sixth, Spade Giant in seventh, and Douglas Dew in eighth. Didn't Douglas Dew win last week, I think, if I remember rightly?
Last week, let's have a look.
I think it was.
Do I see him on the? I don't see him on the leaderboard, do I?
Maybe it was the week before then. Might be the week before. Definitely Douglas Dew has won one of them.
Talking
in
of
the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Paranoially, Simon asks, did you buy any Trump dollars? Did you buy the Trump meme? Are you riding the wave with Trump?
Definitely not.
Yeah, I'd give that one a pass as well.
Definitely not.
Yeah, Brian says the week before he had that big result.
Yeah, right. This is doing my head in because it's frozen again. So, right. Bear with me, Des. If you come out of that, I will.
I can do that.
I will. Well, actually, I can just do. It's all right. I can.
So I could show this picture of people, Leigh. They're getting there ahead of next weekend, Leigh. That's the queue outside.
I don't blame.
Oh well, you've gone to. You've put up a picture of the United Defence.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, Kerry is saying in a classic man style, she says, "Reboot everything, just turn it all off."
Unfortunately,
it's bad thing.
Midstream. That's
bad thing.
It's midstream is not a good thing. We have to go to a contingency option that doesn't involve actually closing everything down. Otherwise, we'll be.
We do a watch along, Leigh, where only we watch the poker and we talk about it rather than actually showing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a bad option. We could always do that.
Kerry says, I am very manly. Let's not go there, Kerry. Let's not bring this chat into that place. It's only January. I'll tell you while you're figuring that out, Leigh, I'm going to play this little video. I love this little video. Who do you know? Who do you recognize there? There we go. The magic without the drama. And I think we're getting back and running.
There we go.
Again.
We are very much back, and we're not lost anybody along the way yet, but we are down to say still the 7. But hopefully that will fix the freezing by just switching it onto a different laptop. So,
and Kerry recognised Duffy there, of course, chatting in the middle of the room. Where else would Claire be? I remember Shug being there, Dave Potts, John Young, of course, was there. I mean, there was lots and lots of folks that we recognise. I can't remember, Leigh, was that a UK team event?
It was either squads or it might have been a UK team. I don't think
they had UK team shirts on, so maybe it was squads. I like the calmness of it.
So Ace Jack against Ace Queen, Tris. And King on the river for Tris is going to bust Dave Amos. David would hit the Jack, and then Tris gets there on the river, and we're going to lose Dave.
Well, I think Dave's been brutalised in both tournament final tables there by the sound of it. Unlucky, sir, but good job on reaching 2.
Yeah, just missed out on the final table on the mini. Finished in 9th place in the mini. But that's a pretty sick. Well, I mean, you've got it in behind in the first place. Ace Jack against Ace Queen. So to hit the Jack, you're thinking, okay, I've been saved there, and then it reverses itself back on you, and we're down to 6.
Good job there, Kerry, saying cashed in both. Quite right. Good result. Good evening play.
So the 6 now remaining have got £90 locked up. Then it goes 113, 148, 207. Then second place will pick up £325, and the winner is going to pick up 516 tonight for the main leaderboard. So very nice indeed. So Brian bust in the so Brian is Douglas Dew. So Brian Fruit bust in the mini. Queen versus Ace 4. Yeah. Ace Queen versus the 7s. Ace on the flop, 7 on the flop though as well. And Brian 7s are going to be good, and we're going to lose. Was that Snake 29, 29, 29? Yeah. Busts in 6th place. So we're down to 5, flying through this tonight. But say the stack wise, so Brian's chip leader now with 32 bigs. Tris is second. Tris and Credo both got very similar stacks, 26, 27 bigs. And then the other 2 remaining, Copium and Dan Williams, Bjorn Heiderstrom, both got about 16, 14, 15 bigs. So plenty to.
Yeah, Kerry says good luck to all in both games. Thank you, Kerry. Dan says, lol, Jack 10 can't beat King 7 on a 10-7 XX. Get it in, and they slam the King on the river.
Yeah, I think that was in the mini, because he's now the short stack of 7. So I'm going to guess that is that is in the mini.
Must do better at all these all-ins on the final tables. Teach me Tris. Oh, poor Tris. He's getting a rub from another event. Yeah,
Tris had a bit of a roller coaster day at the UKPC yesterday. Kind of got doubled up early on, and then just lost a few hands, and was kind of then nursing a bit of a short stack for a while, and eventually, ran into. I think it's Queens. I think what's this? Queens got busted. I think might have been his exit hand. So a bit of a roller coaster time for him up in Nottingham.
Oh, it's coming back to Dan here now. Glenn says that's for cooling me in the main with 15 left. Dan with Kings versus Queens. You see, it comes around, Leigh. it's that type of game. It comes around.
Yeah. Big hand there for so Copium gets a double up through Tristan. Yes. Just hit the board then. Is obviously got. Oh, Tristan's got his 12 bigs in next hand. Let's see whether anyone's going to make a call. No, they're not. So Copium is just pretty much joint chip leader now with Boing Blitz, Brian Yates. So if you want to get involved in these are the APAT Winter Leaderboards. This is game week number 6. We've got 9 in total, and then we'll be dishing out the £3,000 worth of added prizes. Winner of this main leaderboard is going to pick up a £1,500 seat into the Grosvenor Open at Coventry next month, which has got £1 million guaranteed prize pool in it. So one lucky APAT player, is going to get to go and play that event next week, courtesy of GrosvenorPoker.com.
Yeah, amazing.
Our online partner for 2025. So this is just the start of loads of really good stuff we've got planned for the rest of the year. Ace 4 versus Kings. Well, Dan, you said
smashed it.
You said, Dan, Tristan, teach me. Well, that's how it's done. Ace 4, Ace Jack is the flop, and Brian's
Ouch.
Kings are pretty well. They weren't completely
Sloppy chips, Leigh.
Done for. Yeah, they weren't completely done for, but by the time we got to the river, it was, and that puts Dan in the chip lead with the 5 remaining. Yeah, as you say, chips just being flying all about the table. Nobody wants to seem to kind of take control of the chips and see this through at the moment. Raise from Brian to just 2 bigs, and Copium just shoves their 30 bigs stack in, and Brian folds. So Brian's now got 16 bigs. Tristan's got 12. Credo's got 24, and then Copium and Bjorn have about 33 each. So I can see in the chat, Glyn's asking, does the partnership mean you two are going to be working hard at Goliath again?
Sounds like a 2-parter, Leigh, that.
Yeah, that's very much one of the ones that's Tom's just getting finalised at the moment as to whether there's going to be a space. Goliath has been super successful and is growing and growing, and their number one priority is obviously ensuring that the main event, they can cope with the numbers and manage that off as Ace 3 against Ace Deuce.
Wow.
It's the Ace Deuce at risk, but it's looking like it's going to be chopped. There were diamonds out there as well for Tristan, but that would have been a brutal way to get a double up through Brian. But so we're just waiting to say as to whether there's a possibility. It maybe there won't be, and we can't get to Goliath, but we'll obviously certainly be supporting that event on behalf of Grosvenor. Ace 5 versus King 3. It's King on the flop for Tristan, and he avoids the diamonds of Dan. And so Tris gets a full double up through Bjorn. Yeah, so we'll just wait to see on that one. But it's a manic. I mean, I love going to Goliath. It's just a crazy week in Coventry. The numbers are just incredible, and the it's actually as much fun when you're working it or involved in the kind of the running of the tournaments. It is actually playing it, because it's just a proper buzz for a week. So much goes on there. And the numbers just keep getting bigger. And if they can find a space for us, we'll have them. We very much love to put an APAT event in there. But it's a tough one. Last time we were there, we could have done 600, 700 runners, but they just didn't have the resources to cope with it. I think we had something like 700 that had registered for it, but were on the alternates list, and we only could get 24 tables open, I think. And so, it was just absolutely crazy. Kind of going on late on the would have been the Saturday night, and then we brought them back for us for the Sunday. Well, they actually had to kick us out of the main hall, so we moved in. I don't know if you remember this, Des. You were at home, doing the production side of it.
I remember that exactly. Yeah,
we got to our final table. I was all set up for a final table in the hall, and we had to move everything into the sports bar so we could live stream the final table there, because there was us and another tournament that were coming to a conclusion, and then they just had what was going on with the main event on the feature table. So it was crazy. Yeah, you're right, Glyn. There was about 500 alternates. It was the list was crazy. I think a number of people eventually just kind of gave up trying to get in. There was a lot of hanging around for that one.
Yeah.
And Simon says, won't it be very close to the Worlds? We've not obviously confirmed the dates of the Worlds yet, but whenever the Worlds might be, that is always going to be the case. With Goliath, it's already been confirmed for early August. So. Let's say, fingers crossed, Tom will be able to get all of that info out pretty soon, just to confirm for everybody what's going on. But in the meantime, first 3 are already out there. So UK team event next weekend, and then say we're in London in February and over in Dublin in March.
So it's pretty even here, Leigh. A couple of heavier stack sizes, but really not too much in this. Plenty of play left.
No, not really. Yeah, so even when Brian had his kings bust by
here we go.
Dan's Raggy Ace, King 3 against Ace. Copians flopped
spades
the
are
flush. Yeah, and it needed to be a king or a 3 for the full house for Brian. Not to be in Copium knocks out Brian. That's a pretty sick way to go, isn't it? When you flop 2 pair and you're running into the nut flush. That's
it's a tough break
to go.
Name of the game. Name of the game in poker, of course.
But Brian will add some more points to his tally. I know he's eyeing that top spot, so he will have added to his current situation. And the guys have now locked up £148. So down to 6 in the mini.
Superb.
Bob Mouse is now chip leader in the mini. Jam Sandwich in second. Carey still sat there in third. Bulldozer Dino in fourth. Glyn Wellings in fifth. And Spade Giant in sixth. They're the 6 remaining in that. Opium's not messing about here now. Quite happy to get their stack in the middle and get this done. And they're now sat on 48 bigs, which is double what anybody else has got. Credo's second with 24, and then Bjorn and Triss are third and fourth on sort of 15 and 13. So pretty much Copium has half the chips in play. With 4 players left. Isn't it around this time of the year WSOP releases the full schedule? It's normally not too far off.
Probably is, Leigh. I don't know whether it'll be any different this year with the new owners. Well, whether there might be any changes, but it would make sense that you need to give people this type of notice.
Yeah, I know they obviously did the end of last year when they kind of just give the headline stuff. But I'm pretty sure it's normally late Jan, early Feb that the kind of full details come out.
I suspect Bjorn might even have some insight on dates and timelines and stuff. I'm sure that's quite a big breaking news story as and when it occurs.
Yeah, knowing me, knowing you. Yeah. But obviously loads of time to make a plan. To say we were talking about the Poker Raffles draw. That's going to get drawn in in April. I mean, to be honest, if it does sell out, we may well do the draw earlier, because to give the winner more time to make plans.
To heck with that, give us a chance to do another one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If it's even if it's April, it's still loads of time for you to make plans. God, imagine if you knew you were going to be right. You're going to play the main event in the summer. And I'd say the hotel accommodation is at the Horseshoe, which is obviously bang slap in the middle of the whole World Series, so it's perfect for that. That's where I've stayed the last couple of times I've been out there, and it's just super convenient for all the poker. Credo all in here, and into the two shorter stacks in the blinds, so they both get out of the way. Tristan and Dan.
Dan is saying early Feb, Leigh, on the more complete WSOP announcement, which that aligns well.
Thought it would be somewhere around there, and obviously I don't know where January's gone, because we're on the 26th today. It's absolutely flown by, and this time next week we'll be there.
Dan says, with GG involved, it could all be 17 hours late reg and 1 million online day one. Amen, my friend.
I'd be very surprised if much gets changed in year one. I would be quite surprised. They might do a few things to make, and I'm sure they'd love to see the record prize pool get broken again. But again, they've already been sending serious volume of players there through online satellites for a number of years now. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe they'll take a look at the schedule and take a view on maybe some of the tournaments that maybe aren't as popular for them, or it depends it depends what headline they want. It depends what message you want to get out there. What makes a poker tournament the best poker tournament? I certainly isn't. As much as the prize pool numbers are great and guarantees are great, and all that. Obviously, the World Series doesn't do guarantees. It's never really been a thing. So, as much as all of that is a great headline, is that what makes
here we go, Leigh.
Tristan with a king 10 and walks into the pocket kings of Bjorn, 10 on the flop, but manages to avoid another 10, and we're going to lose Tris in 4th place. So we have our top 3, and Credo's got 20 bigs, Bjorn has got 33, and chip leader is Copium with 47. So what makes one of these big festivals the best? What makes it great? To me, it's about the experience that you have in playing these, and how you're treated as a player, and that to me means more, which is maybe something that they'll work on, perhaps.
Queues, get rid of queues. That's got to be objective number one. Just try and make it easy for people to get in. Don't want to be queuing. Just want it to be clear where I'm sat, when I'm sat. Take my money, please. Those are the fundamentals.
Which is why I've raved about my experience at the Irish Open last year. First time I'd been to that event, organised. And super organised. You had to queue if you wanted to buy in, and you queued to cash out. But once you'd actually bought in, you just got told where your seat was, because your seat was already available for you. So you don't. Whereas at the World Series, you often could be queuing to buy in, which they've cut down with the machines and being able to do it online. So but you're still then often, if you're in an alternates queue, you're just queuing around the. I think I showed you.
You walked us through it, Leigh. You were there.
I walked you through the queue. I can't think what the event was. It might have been the Colossus or something like that, or maybe it was the Millie Makers, whichever one it was. And that was no joke. That they were queuing to get a seat.
Yeah, it's not a good experience.
On the altar. And what's crazy about that, I can't think. I mean, I had no idea how many people were in that queue, but there was probably 1,000 people in that queue, maybe something like that. When I walked around, because it snaked up and down the hallway, and it was all the way around the room, and then it snaked up and down the hallway a few times. So maybe it was 1,000. That's 1,000 people that could be, eating, drinking, doing something in the casino, whatever it might be. That they've got stood in a queue.
It's just a bad experience. It's a really, it's a really bad experience. Yeah, Gary says spending Father's Day out in Vegas this year. Can't wait. Yeah, dead jealous.
Amazing.
Dead
Brilliant.
jealous. Enjoy that, Gary. I'm sure you will. Yeah, and Trish says, luck ran out, sigh. Good luck, Dan. Indeed, it did at the end there, Trish, but another good run. Well done. Dan, of course, says, unlucky Trish was a sick setup. Kerry, I think, did I see Kerry had run out of chips? No, maybe not. Sorry, I might have got that wrong. Dan says, we'll take the two of us at the final table next week, though. Yep, that's a plan. And Sai says, the app they launched at WSOP Paradise looked like it might be a game changer. I think that's maybe what I would expect, GG to bring, because I wouldn't expect them to bring the type, anywhere near the type of live event experience that, Jack and Ty and all of those people who run the World Series of Poker have gained over the last 20 plus years. So where else can you bring the expertise in the organization, the tech, chip counts and stuff like that?
I think I said to you, I picked up a couple of bounties in one of the tournaments out there last summer. So went to cash out. Wasn't much for Q to cash out, to be honest, but to cash out, she literally put down a pile of printed paper like that.
Yeah. She had to leaf through it, right?
And she's leafing through it to find my name on it to mark down what my cash was. And they were sharing that between 3 cashiers or 4 cashiers, and you just looked at it and went, what? Or like, how can that be a thing? But obviously, fully aware, in the States, and it's not even America as a whole, because obviously every state has its own rules and what they can do for this, that, and the other, and they've got to follow the laws of the land. But it just seems absolutely mad to be doing that.
Glenn says would be 20 times easier for us Brits to be able to deposit withdraw with the World Series of Poker app, which it would, and it should be as easy as that.
But again, it should be. But at the same time, they still have the rules about the $10,000 limit. And that applies to not just hard currency that you're carrying. It implies to any form of currency that you're supposedly moving about. So they just need to find a way of managing all of this, because no one's got anything to hide. It's just they just want to make it as easy as they possibly can. The trouble is that they have got the app out there, the Bravo app that you can use, but they charge like 3% on it or something like that for you to be able to pay on a card, and that's just
I was out
crazy.
there last I was out there last summer, Lee, and I queued up for the main event. I stand in a queue for about 3 hours, and eventually I got to the teller. I popped down 3 Dodge coins. I said 3 Dodge coins. I said, main event buy-in, please. I want purple. Can you put me in purple with Dan Harrington and a few of those others? 3 Dodge coins. I said, keep the change. Didn't like it, Lee. Couldn't handle the Dodge coin.
I mean, that's how we're paying them in with the poker raffles draw, isn't it? That's what we're doing. Yeah, that'll be it.
Oh, give me the Dodge coin, please.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with America. I'm intrigued that there's been so many bits of paper signed in the past week or so. It's going to be fascinating to see how the whole thing. And he signs with these great big permanent marker things.
Oh, it's insane, man. It goes all the way through to the cover of the document, the leather-bound cover. His signature is on there, and there's a poor guy hovering over him, going, "This is to, get a season ticket for the Philly Ramblers." Oh yeah, okay. I think that's great. I need to go and see the Philly Ramblers.
No, he does it, but he goes. Oh, this is the big one.
This hasn't been done in a while, huh? Day one, boom.
Did you see the one where he signed off the release of the JFK assassination papers?
Yes.
So what's this one? Oh, this is the release of the JFK and Martin Luther King papers. Oh, this is a big one. Oh,
they want this one. Everybody's going. Well, I saw somebody refer to it on the Twitter this morning, and they simply said 5 million pages. TLDR. Does anyone have cliff notes? It's like, no, nobody has cliff notes. 5 million pages.
Just who bloody did it? Just that's all we want to know. Just who did it? Yeah. I'm assuming releasing all of that document, it still doesn't actually tell you who did it. Really?
I suspect it doesn't. Lee, I suspect it doesn't. No.
Yeah. I suspect you're going to be none the wiser. We're not going to be they're not phoning up Kevin Costner and going, we're going to need to do a rewrite of that film you did.
Yeah. To be honest, Lee, I'm getting the 500 pages just to try and find out what a null is. I just want to know what a null is.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting the promises that have been made, and to be fair, he's honouring whatever he promised to get himself in back in, and doing good by people.
I loved it. He got into a discussion about the wall, and he started talking about like precast concrete, and he wanted to build a lovely wall, but then they couldn't build a lovely wall. It was a metal thing, and they got to hide the wires inside. I mean, the level of detail that he's going into is pretty intense. I suspect when he's 100 or 200 days in, he'll be a lot more battle worn at this point. There are lots of things in the chat, Lee. Trish saying, without sounding silly.
I should just say, we are back playing poker.
Let's put the poker up, shall we?
Yeah.
So Trish said...
there are still the same three
left. Let's put it up.
So, yeah, all good. Yeah.
Trish says, without sounding silly, how do you guys get around taking more than 10K over the border? Sorry, Trish, we can't talk about that in the live stream. I mean, digitally, I suppose. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not, you're not like taking money in or spending more money to.
What I should say is there's nothing to say you can't take more than 10.
Yeah,
you just have to declare it,
says Glenn.
Yeah, you just got to fill the paperwork out. If it's less than 10, you don't have to do any paperwork. If it's more than 10, you can, as Simon is saying, you can wire money over to the casino cage. Say anything electronic is not a problem. Not really too much of an issue from that point of view. And these days there's more and more things. So obviously things like the is it the Revolut cards and those kind of things means you can, currency this case has become less of an issue. I mean, even with my own bank these days, I can open a travel wallet on my banking app and move money between between currencies. You don't necessarily get the best rate in the world, but then you can go and withdraw from an ATM over in the States with no charges. So there are ways and means of doing this thing. It's all about just following an audit trail of what's going on. That's all they're wanting to do. Really.
Lee, don't talk about auditing in this week of all weeks, please. Don't do it, Lee.
No, but what I was going to say is actually the one thing that people often forget or don't even think about is we actually have those same rules when you bring currency into this country. So if you have a decent win in Vegas, you first of all have to declare it when before you get on the plane to leave that you're leaving with it, but you actually need to then declare it when you're bringing it back into the UK as well. So
A good win is a very subjective thing, Lee. It can mean different things to different people.
Absolutely,
I come back with any money at all, anything. I declare it. Interesting one here. Trish says, thankfully, when I cashed over in Vegas many years ago, it was just less than 10K. Thankfully, no. You want that to be higher. And I love this from Glenn. He says, or give some of it to the missus to bring home. That's always a good plan. If you're just over, so get the missus to mule the money in is what Glenn is suggesting. Lee, money, drugs, alcohol, anything like that, just put it in the missus's bag.
So these days with the win, you obviously from a tax point of view, you need to, if it's over the limits, you need to obviously do the paperwork to even get the win. Interestingly, the poker level bar for when you need to do your tax for that is massively higher than most of the other casino games. I think things like on the slot machines and things, if you win over like $2,000, they'll try and withhold tax for you if you've not got the right paperwork. If you're from the UK, so poker is still quite a high bar when it comes to tax. But obviously, as Glenn's saying, they will pick up if you're traveling in the same party. So if you are traveling together, they will treat that as it's not a case of just divvying it up and that'll all be okay. They can be quite funny about it at times if you're traveling on as the same party. So yeah, again, because they'll normally ask the question, when you're coming in, are you traveling on your own? Are you doing whatever? Yeah. So, yeah, it's often easier just to say, yeah, I've got no friends, don't know anybody on the plane whatsoever. Yeah.
Glenn says, sort your ITIN number in advance. That, of course, is the best advice. Tris says, it's okay. When I win money playing poker, I just give it to Leigh anyway.
Yeah. That's a true story. Yeah. That's a genuine true story. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I put it to good use. Yeah. So, yeah.
Just what you need to do is you need to roll your money into those rolls, right? Those rolls you want to get some lecky band on it, right? Get a lecky band, put it in a condom.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Keep it nice and snug.
It's all good. Keeps the mattress topped up. It's all good. So it's fine. Yeah. Not
dear,
well,
dear.
Now it's all changed, isn't it? So I mean, anyone that was I used to have some clients back in the day that used to kind of siphon off £50 notes and keep them tucked away for just if ever there was ever some complete meltdown of the financial system, they've always got some
cash
backup. But of course, the trouble is all the notes have changed to plastic now, haven't they? So I'm sure they probably still got stuff siphoned away somewhere without even thinking about it anymore. Yeah,
you got to show a passport if you pay with cash these days.
Oh, it has got crazy. I mean, the States has got better. I remember first time we went out to Vegas, you needed your passport, ID to do anything, and you signed for stuff. At least they've now got chip and pin working and contactless and all that kind of stuff. But say 10 years ago in Vegas, if you paid with a credit card, you were having to show ID and signing on a dotted line still. And like,
that's right.
10 years ago in this country, we had chip and pin and everything, and you kind of did look in the States going, what's going on here? But then contactless now takes away all of that completely, doesn't it? So
no, absolutely. Steve says it's like the scene from The Wolf of Wall Street. Sounds about right. Kerry says how much tax on it now for an American? It used to be 30%. Wow. Steve says money taped to the body. I have to say this live stream has gone to a very dark place tonight. I like it. We should do more of this, less of the football.
No, it is still I think it is still 30. Well, I think if you haven't got an ITIN number, Jack's against ace king, Credo with the jacks, and Dan's hit a king, needs to avoid a jack, and we're going to be down to 2, and we are going to be heads up. So we lose Credo 75 in third place. Very well played to you, picking up £207. So we are heads up. It's 30 bigs for Dan, Bjorn, Heiderstrom, and it's 44 bigs for Copium. Good luck to the both of you. So it's they'll still deduct if you haven't got an ITIN and you're over. They will insist on deducting 30%. So it is one to bear in mind. My first trip to Vegas, and I cashed over the limit, and I typically cashed at the one place that didn't used to help doing an ITIN, which was Golden Nugget. So I had to do get an American tax return done the following year to get I think I was owed about $3,500 or something like that. So I had to actually pay to get somebody to do me American tax return. Once you got your ITIN number, then you're okay. After that, but I think the World Series stopped helping to do them for a few years, but I think last year, if I remember rightly, they were back to, if you won at the World Series, they would be supportive and do that for you. So
that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. And again, that's another area that Gigi would bring a lot of experience of. I would have thought international, financial transaction management. I would have thought they were more experienced than Caesars at stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And of course, the ultimate one is Luxon Pay, which obviously we've used for APAT events for a number of years now. If they could get in there, and they're in with most of the sites now, seem to have Luxon Pay as an option, and most of the festivals and events now, you've got the option to pay with Luxon Pay. That seems to be standard at a lot of the festivals all around the world. So Vegas seems to be one of the few where they're not in there yet.
There is another method, of course, Leigh. Just get your big roll of cash, head down to Fremont Street, buy a lot of Twinkies, a lot of hot dogs, where you can probably get thousands of these things for like dollars, and just eat them. Basically, grab your value right there and then, and buy two plane seats on the way back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Glyn says he used to be a man next to the annoying phone. Yeah, I know exactly the person you mean. Yeah, there is a tax guy that sits in the corridor at the World Series offering tax advice, very much so. Yeah, and I think you're right, Dan. I think they did just help a few weeks in because there was some issue, as Simon said, there was some issue with the license that they weren't allowed to do it. But it just obviously makes a lot of sense if they can. I mean, obviously,
this guy have a name? Did this guy have a name? This guy, we can't be talking about the guy who sat in the hallway on our live stream, can we?
We could, yeah, of course we could. Could well be. Yeah, Roy is great for all your tax needs in the US.
Get in touch.
Go.
RoyKindler.com. Kerry says, I have a social security number, which is my ITIN number. That's excellent, Kerry. If you just put that in the chat box, we can all use that, and you can have a more graceful retirement at some point in future.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up bettercallroy.com. Yeah, we'll. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, but I will say that there was always some speculation whether if you had an ITIN number from the UK that it would run out at some point if you'd not used it, which sounds a bit crazy if you've not used it, because if you've just not had a need to use it, but. I found out last year that once you've got it, it seems to be that it's valid. So it's not really an issue. So because I think I hadn't used mine for maybe I hadn't needed to use it for about 4 or 5 years. But then when I did need to use it, it didn't seem to be an issue whatsoever.
Worked fine. And of course, your poker raffles winner, and that's ultimately kind of where we started with all of this. This and was it Glenn's trip to Vegas? You have plenty of time to sort out an ITIN number. Get well ahead on stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, what we would say is if you are the winner of the poker raffles main event, not an issue whatsoever, because I think we'll get the 10,000 into the States for you. We're either going to use Glenn's wife, or we're going to tape it to Steve Forty's chest. One or the other, we will get that money into America for you so you can buy in and play the main event. Not an issue whatsoever. We've got a couple of options now.
We're going to tape it to Steve's chest, put him in the Hyundai, and ferry the whole package across the North Atlantic by all of the icebergs, I hope. And we're going to land him in Newfoundland. He's just going to drive down along the east coast of the States and then fly across.
Now, I would say, if you win the whole thing, I'm not sure whether getting. I'm not sure whether getting 10. I don't think getting 10. I don't think we can strap 10 million to Steve Forty. I'm just saying. I think that might be. We might have to come up with a plan C. If you go and win the 10 mil and win the whole lot, we might have to find another option for getting it back. But
there'll be a lot of mules available, I'm sure, if you win the 10 mil.
We know people. We know people that can move currency. It won't be a problem, Des.
We do indeed. Simon says, it does run out after so many years, Leigh. You just haven't reached the level yet, right? You haven't leveled up enough. Okay. Glenn says, I'd happily smuggle the 10K on my wife. He said, I was very generous to do that. Simon goes on to explain, when an ITIN expires, if it isn't used on a US federal tax return for any three, I mean, it sounds like he's chat GPT'd this.
Well, if you think that, see, this was always the kind of the thing that this 3-year thing. And so I was never quite sure. And I passed the 3-year thing 100%. But happily they took the number, because they've got no way of checking whether you've used it in the last whether you filed a tax return in the last 3 years. They've got no way of knowing. The casino you're at, I've got no way of knowing whether you've done that. Yeah. So basically they just fill it out on the paperwork and give you the full money and don't take any tax off it. So because that's what happened to me last year. It's not an urban myth or anything, but it's one of those where it just when you look at the wording, you go, oh, so it runs out after 3 years. But I had my previous one that I got from sort of 10 years ago, and I just happily gave them the paperwork, and I set it up in my hotel room when I got it, gave them the paperwork, and they filled it all out and came back and gave me the full money. So
no bother. Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
So Simon says he's not used his for 20 years. Do you reckon Simon's is rolled up in some sort of parchment thing?
I think indeed it might well be, Leigh.
Sealed in wax, yeah?
It's like a treasure map of yore. There's probably an X on it somewhere. That might indeed be where Simon signed it. But it does sound like it's aged gracefully. What else have we got? We've got some just back to reality poker stuff. Kerry apparently has been smashed on the river by Glenn.
He has. Yeah, Glenn's absolutely. Yeah. Glenn's now the chip leader. And we've just lost Kerry in third place, picking up £41 for her efforts this evening. Very well done to you. So Bulldozer Dean is heads up against Glyn in the mini, and they've got pretty much even chip stack now. So
yeah, listen,
we're heads up. We are heads up in both
of them.
I want to know, Simon. I'm curious to know where did you cash to get your IT in, and where was the most recent time you've cashed where you've needed to use it? I reckon. No, I know Simon's play. I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere on Fremont Street. I reckon it'll be a casino. It'll be a casino downtown. I reckon where definitely. Simon will have done it. So but yeah, we're curious to know where we.
When Simon did that, Leigh, downtown was in fact uptown. I mean, times have changed in the last 20 years. Binions was where it all happened. The little sort of roller coaster thing there that you flap on didn't exist back in the day. Steve says, when me and the wife were in New York last April, the New York State Lotto was $1.23 billion. We bought tickets. I got worried on how to claim the prize if I won. Good thing I didn't win. You could have saved those $5, Steve.
Those American lotteries that get into the billions seems nuts. I mean, I know the Euro Millions over this way can get to 100 million, something like that, isn't it? But the billions seems absolutely phenomenal. Copium wins that little pot, but is now very much the chip short stack here. About 3-1 chip lead now. Bjorn has got over Copium. Let's see if Dan can see this through, or if Copium can get a double up and get this back to parity.
Chris says, was it the Golden Nugget in 1967, Si? And Chris says, Simon's first cash was at the Dunes. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I haven't checked Simon's. Was that? Are we pre-Hendon Mob with that?
Pre-Hendon Mob? I think we're pre-computers, mate.
When did Hendon Mob start recording results? What's the earliest Hendon Mob? What is the first? Yeah, what's the first ever result on Hendon Mob? I wonder.
Probably late 90s, I'd have thought.
Yeah,
I'd have thought so. Because if you think about it, late night poker was happening back then. So, yeah, I mean, I say late 90s. It might not even be late 90s. It might be earlier than that. Sort of mid 90s, maybe. I don't know.
Who would have had one of the earliest cashes on the Hendon Mob then? I wonder how far back the World Series go. Do you reckon they go right back?
Yeah, it might do. It doesn't necessarily. I mean, they might have been put in.
Will they have? Yeah. Will they have loaded? Yeah. Will they have loaded? Yeah. That's what I'm wondering whether they've loaded up. Let's see how far back the seasons go.
Be like taping money to the body of an old person.
They're right back to 1970.
Trish says, I think it's 1988, but they can't have been live updated back in 1988. No,
so all they've got in 1970, they have got the 1970 winner. They've just got the winner. Just Johnny Moss won it in 1970. So they've got the entries. They've got all the results in for the World Series, by the looks of it. But be curious to know what was the first one that actually got loaded up as a genuine.
Chris is saying 1972, but again, there was it might go back that far, but that wasn't. That had to have been loaded way post the event.
Yeah. So curious to know when it started and what was the first one that what first got loaded up on there. It's 1972, Chris, the first year that they actually have a full set of results in. Well, they've still only got top 3 in, and the money doesn't make any sense whatsoever there. It's got,
let's face it.
It's got Amarillo Slim winning it, Puggy Pearson in second, and Doyle Bronson in third. And Amarillo won 15,000, Puggy won 32.5, and Doyle won 30. Did they chop it and then play for the winner, and Amarillo Slim won it? Maybe that's what happened.
I'm pretty sure back in 1972, Joe Beavers didn't have a 15 kb Cray taking up a room of his 3-bed in Dunstable. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case.
Yeah. Copium has fought back here and has now got the chip lead, just a little bit ahead of Bjorn at the moment. So these two battling it out. And the battle is still going on in the mini as well. Glyn has taken the chip lead in that against Dean Pearson. But again, not a huge amount between it. Glyn's got 230k and Dean's got 150,000. So Copium's all in here, and Dan folds. They're not hanging about though, these two. They're really going for it, yeah.
Chris had just looked at Barney Boatman's profile and his results going back to 1998. Now that feels about the right time. So just in and around the late night poker when the media was beginning to be a thing.
I was trying to think. So I was at uni between 94 and 97, and we kind of had email addresses and that internet was
CompuServe and stuff. Great days.
Sort of starting in its infancy around then. So that doesn't surprise me that it would be similar. But I would imagine maybe how much they would have backdated some stuff to get, because when they started the Hendon mob, they wouldn't have just gone, right, here it is, we'll just do record results. I'm assuming they would have gathered a load of information and built the database to start with.
I've just wikied it, Leigh. I've just wikied it. Apparently it started in 1972, and one of the founders cashed. They passed the results to Tom Brady, and they only got published in 1998. So
that makes sense. Yeah. All in the call.
Here we go.
Copium. It's the Queens for Bjorn. And we're going to see a double up for Dan, and it's going to give him a 5-1 chip lead now on Copium. I've got a funny feeling that these chips are going to go in quite quickly here, because I say they're both hanging about. To be fair, that was a pair versus a pair, so heads up. Yeah, the chips are going to go in the middle quite quickly at that point. Well, I can't believe, interestingly, on the one I'm looking at and from 1972, Puggy Pearson's the only one that uploaded a profile photo. Amarillo Slim probably didn't have internet access, so he couldn't get on to do it, or didn't have a smartphone, maybe, possibly. He probably was on that one of those Nokias, I'd imagine. Which not great. Not great for taking photos. So,
Leigh, I've seen some of those good old boys play the World Series of Poker on those replays on Poker Go, which is amazing to watch, by the way. And let me tell you, none of them had the internet back in the day.
Yeah.
Some might have had horses, to be honest. The internet, no.
Yeah, how the world. But it's quite scary when you think that we're talking about. It's only 50 years. How much the poker world has changed. Yeah, it's incredible. Considering that the game's been played for a very, very long time. But and it's not even the last 50 years, is it? It's really. When was Moneymaker?
2003.
2003, 2004. Yeah. So we're talking in the last 20 years, just incredible change in the game. And to think that APAT were coming round, we're not far off 20 years. 20 years ourselves, 2006.
Wow.
APAT started. Next year will be 20 years. Wow, we should do something for that,
we might tell some stories, Leigh. That's what we might do.
Ace 7 versus Ace 4, and I think we're going to see a double up for Copium.
Sevens.
We are. So sevens are good, and now that cuts Dan's lead down to, it's still nearly 2-1 chip lead. But are we at that time where we feel we should finally write that book we've been talking about?
Don't think it'll be a book, Leigh, but there's definitely a chapter.
We'll get Tighty in to write it.
Tighty, magnificent.
He'd be good at it'd be very good at it. So that's for sure. That's for sure. Glyn taking a bit more of a chip lead in the mini. Now got nearly a 2-1 chip lead on Dean, but they're still going at it. That's not what I want to happen for that screen to go down as well. Crikey!
You're under pressure tonight, Leigh.
What's going on tonight? Honestly, seriously.
Saya said here, Amarillo Slim was almost the first PokerStars Pro in 2003. PokerStars gave him his first computer. Wowzers. They had a close call there, eh?
Yeah, but he had a bit of an incident on Twitter, and then the community went against him. So yeah, it got nasty. All got nasty. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of stories like that of people that nearly got involved in the real kind of boot. You would have thought would have made a good ambassadors or a good role model for it, but actually, will you ever get anything much better than what happened with Moneymaker?
No.
He was
quite simply the best.
It was just simply just one of those
perfect timing, perfect name, perfect guy.
If you have ever watched, so we obviously did the Orbit with Robbie a number of years ago, and there's one particular episode where Chris Moneymaker's on, and he's on with one of the main event winners. I'll say Martin. Is it Martin Jakobsen?
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. That was a great evening.
It was a great.
Oh, Jakobsen, yeah.
And at the end,
the funny
of it,
story.
They'd obviously not
sheepishly.
Really met. Ace Jack versus King Queen, and I think King Queen is going to be good enough, and we're going to see a winner.
That's
Yay!
It. Wow.
Well done. Bjorn Hydrostrom picks up the win, picks up £516 for his trouble, and Copium finishes in second, picking up £325. Well done to both of you. Superb stuff. Just as that was happening, we've also got a winner in the mini as well. Let me see if I can very easily bring up the. Can I do that? How about that? There we go. And that's the mini result.
Well done, Glenn.
So Glenn got the win. Well done to you, beating Dino into second place, Kerry in third, Bob Mouse in fourth. So Jam Sandwich was chip leader for a long time in that, so finished in fifth. So very well done to you. But yeah, just very quickly on that. So if you go and check out the episode, it's brilliant. It's a really great chat for an hour with. I can't think who else was on that episode, but brilliant. But we'd finished recording it, and they're still chatting, and clearly Martin hadn't really, it was a little bit, I'm meeting, Chris Moneymaker, and so just starts wanting to ask him some questions, and sort of, and the first one was like, is that
really your name?
Yeah.
That was it. Is that really your name?
And so Chris Moneymaker is like, nah, we just made but then Martin did a Columbo moment. Just one more thing. Do you think if that hadn't have been your name in the situation, would it have had the impact that it had? It's a beautiful little short discussion between, just two incredible world champions.
I'm sure we have that somewhere,
Yeah,
I'm sure we have that somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to play. It's a beautiful thing, but they're on YouTube anyway. You can find them on the Orbit channel on YouTube if you want to check them out. But well worth checking. I do miss doing those. They were good. They were good fun. But we are done for another week. As I got to try to tell a story, and we're done. Congratulations to all of our winners. From game week 6 of the APAT Winter Leaderboards. That means we have 3 weeks to go. Next week, we should just explain. Next week, we are going to be in Nottingham. We're going to be at Dusk Till Dawn for the UK Team Championship. We will be streaming the conclusion of that event, so we won't be following the online games next week, but they still will be taking place. So you never know. Next week might be a good week to try and pick up some points. If you're not at the UK Team Championship, or you've bust early and already gone home, or whatever it is, hop onto grosvenorpoker.com next Sunday night and get involved in these games. We'll post up the results when we're back from Nottingham on the Monday. And for anyone that does follow us on with the poker raffles draws, they're moving to a Monday night from next week as well, permanently. So APAT Show will be on the Sunday night. Poker raffle draws will be on a Monday night. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Leigh. Thank you, everybody. Good game tonight, folks. Well done, Glenn and Dan, on your wins. Everybody else who took part. As Leigh said, we are back. Well, we're going to be back with raffles on the Monday night. Sunday night, do join us. We will be in Nottingham for the conclusion of the UK Team Champs. So hope you have a great week, or indeed 2 weeks, until we see you again.